Wow, explosive. Just finished reading Alberta's budget 2025-2026 released yesterday. And folks, it's unprecedented spending like never before. Went through the whole thing, $11 billion increase in spending before tariffs. Before tariffs. This doesn't even include tariffs. Danielle Smith is cashing Albertans out, getting ready for the great escape to America, filling her pockets, her caucus's pockets, which is all NDP, all UCP. They're all going to be richly rewarded. And you Albertans, to sell you along with it, they promise you 10% of it back in individual tax savings. 1 billion out of 11 billion, plus the 68 billion they're already blowing. No rhyme or reason, no explanation. All these promised projects, but cashing you out. Money borrowed, money taken from you before tariffs are even calculated, rolled out officially, and even felt. That's what's happening here. Team Canada is team drug dealer thieves, liars, cheats, and thieves. Alberta boldly produces the most spending budget without a crash in oil prices or production or anything else. There's no drastic lower oil prices to make this a reality. This is Premier Danielle Smith, her caucus, not only her caucus, but all the opposition, which is NDP, are cashing you out, enriching themselves and their friends for the great escape, leaving all you holding the bag. As I said, done legally because they're the crown. This isn't Ottawa. This is your provincial crown with the same section power in 92 as section 91 by one Trudeau. Taxation without representation by any mode, means necessary, even debt loading you beyond all measure for no reason except for one reason, to fill their pockets and make sure they all get that first class lifeboat right out of Alberta, while 90% of you are left holding the bag. This is the only explanation, logical, real, and verifiable. This isn't a government saying, hey, 6 months down the road, our revenues have fallen in tariffs, we're now taking out loans, we're going to start government assistance programs. This is your premier saying, I'm going to borrow $11 billion, credit you all with less than 10%, 9% in fact, and we're going to take the 91%. Sound familiar? 91% crown land, 91% of Canada is the crown's federally and provincially. She's taking her cut. And she's got NDP and UCP all together. Not one media story about it. I haven't seen one media story about what I've read off of Alberta's budget released yesterday. Well, in late afternoon. I finished reading it this morning. What do you all think of that? What say you Albertans? You've been completely cucked and effed over by your provincial crown, Danielle Smith, UCP, and NDP, who don't say a word about it. Not one word. Does it look to me like the first class, that 20%, are well taken care of to fend the Trump tariffs? Well, 90% of you, 80% for sure, I should say, are going to eat it like no one else. And you're getting debt loaded, debt slaved. This will drive inflation up 20% for the province of Alberta, just on the new budget and the new debt loading. Yeah, that's what they're doing to you. And again, you get 9% of it. Oh, here's a credit on your taxes, 9% of what we've stolen and taken from you, on top of all the thieving and stealing we've done already. Oh, by the way, Albertans, your budget per person per capita spending can't be matched by any state of the Union in the United States of America. Not by a long astronomical mile. And, you know, people would say, well, Florida, oh, that's Republican, Dave, you can't use that example. A Republican state that doesn't charge income tax, it's only runs on franchise tax from all large companies. That's how it runs. 25 million people run on 91 billion versus Alberta, 4.9 million people running on $79 billion this year. Whoa, do the math. It's more than twice as much money the government's taking from you than the state of Florida takes from the average American in the state of Florida. And the services are all par. In fact, they may even be better in Florida in a lot of regards, especially considering their retirement population is tremendous per person per capita than Alberta. So explain to me that, folks. Your government's always been a liar, cheat, and thief. I'm curious to see how all provincial budgets roll out in this one time as they come out here in the next month, this month and next month. I'm going to be rolling through them, especially before any effects of tariffs or their real calculated effects are even computed. Why would provinces start borrowing ahead of that? Wouldn't you borrow at the time as money would perceivably be needed? I could see that, but taking now means who's getting rich here? Who's ready to run away and leave you holding the debt bag? Not hard to figure out. Not in any Canadian precedents ever. It's pure thievery. Pure unjustified thievery. And they're fooling Albertans. 9% of what we're stealing from you. Share. Get this out there. Credible, real, 100% verifiable. God bless. Bye now.